7:59 a.m.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another scooter video. Today I'm starting the rebuild process on my old half pipe. I'm sure you guys know I have a nice half pipe over here that I ride in almost every single video I post on YouTube. But today we are diving into the not so nice half pipe, and I've had this one built since I was like in 8th grade in middle school. This thing has been neglected beyond years, and it's really just falling apart to the point where it's getting actually kind of scary to even stand on. Right now I can feel the flex in the wood, and you know, there's just holes everywhere. So we're gonna try our best to rebuild it, and this is actually gonna be a video that involves you guys, because I don't really know what the end goal of this project is going to turn out to. I don't know if I want to build a resi back here, or if I want to make it just a 6-foot half pipe and just make it really nice and big and do some really big tricks on it, or if I just want to completely disassemble it and not even have it here and just have just this half pipe over here. Everything's kind of up in the air, so while I'm rolling this intro, if you guys could go down in the comments and comment what you guys think I should build over here on this side of the half pipe, I'll be stoked to read you guys' comments, and maybe it'll give me some inspiration on what I should build. But anyways, let's go get this intro rolling, and I'm gonna go ahead and start deconstructing this half pipe. Not even literally 2 minutes into this project, just disturbed a little mouse home right here, and a couple mouse just went flying as soon as I opened the wood. I don't know where he went, but you can obviously see his home is right there. Just in case there's another mouse under this one. Nope, we're all clear. But man, look how gross that is. This was underneath that. This is just not ending up well. We gotta get fixing this. Look at all of them. I think I just found the ant nest that's always eating away at my half pipe. That's gonna be fun to try to deconstruct farther. But half pipe update, right now we've got all the skate light off, at least except for that sheet. I have one screw in that sheet right there that I have to still remove to get that one off. But the underneath wood is looking in decent shape. Like right here, all the studs are not that bad for being out here for like close to 8 years. Honestly, thought it'd be a lot worse than that. So that's giving me a lot of hope with like the rebuild process, because I'll be able to use a lot of the same wood. But this plywood on top is just absolutely destroyed. Like, it just looks so bad. I mean, look at this stuff. Like, I mean, if I just put my fist in there, it just just goes right through there. I'll come back in with an update once we get a little farther on this deconstruction.
1 hour later.
I've made a little more progress now. We got a little bit of the spine kind of showing through. I just busted a hole through this right here as I was backing up. My foot went right through there, so about probably broken ankle. But anyways, thought I'd come back in with a little update since we're getting this ramp exposed. Now, there's a couple things that I definitely realized that I built so wrong when I first built this thing. This was like one of the few first ramps, like major ramps. I've built a lot of ramps, but this was like the first like major project I ever did, like building a half pipe in the backyard. That's a pretty big endeavor. But when I was doing it, I was trying to save as much money as I could, build it as cheap as I could, which I guess means saving as much money as I could. Anyways, you get the point. I was trying to go as cheap as possible while still getting a half pipe in the backyard. So what I did was, the first mistake, looking back, you see that right there? This is a 10-foot wide half pipe. I had the span of the actual 2x4s at 10 foot wide. That means basically when I would roll up the middle, there was so much flex in the actual ramp as I was riding, just because it's a 10-foot span, and there needs to be like an actual like transition support right here in the middle. From researching a lot, I've done so much research lately because I want to rebuild this, but then also the most important thing is, the reason I'm actually rebuilding this is because in the future I'm going to be building a skate park. It's called Rapture Land, at least that's what I want to call it. That's going to be maybe hopefully sooner than later, but I thought I would rebuild this, kind of freshen my mind on building ramps, because I'm going to be the one building the ramps. I love building ramps, and as you can tell, I've got another half pipe over here that I've got built perfectly, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's so much fun. But anyways, that doesn't change the fact that learning from your mistakes is huge, and I have made a lot of mistakes on this half pipe. Another one to mention is, well, let's not just look at the holes for a second, but this seam right here literally butts up against another seam. So literally between that seam is just bare floor. I never knew I was supposed to have seams that like overlap each other and didn't like actually like go seam to seam. You're supposed to have the plywood, if you would have like a sheet of plywood and like the seams right here and here, you gotta have it to where it's like not overlapping it. I don't really know how to describe it. Maybe on this half pipe I can. You see how there's like a seam here? And then right here there's like just a straight piece that goes on top. And then there's like no seam. So like, here's a good example. A seam here, no seam underneath, and then a solid sheet of skate light on top. Big mistake I did while building this thing was I literally just I didn't overlap the seams. I butted the seams up against each other and basically created a fall through point, which is just a no-no. And one more quick tip before I move on and start deconstructing this thing any farther. You guys probably should just stick around throughout this entire video because I'm going to be dropping tips left and right on how to actually build a ramp while I deconstruct a ramp and then build another ramp. But I did not realize that when building these right here, these 2x4s, I put these at a foot apart. Huge mistake, because a scooter wheel is like that big, the surface area is like that big, so when you land, you're most likely going to bust through and land on a non-support. I've come to realize and find out that you want a minimum of like 8 inches, maybe even 6 inches if you're like really building it like super solid. So that's something that definitely going to take a note when I rebuild this thing. Oh yeah, okay, just because one more quick tip, just so I'm kind of brainstorming and throwing this out here while I'm just building, just because I want to also keep notes, so I'm subconsciously like, when I'm building Raptureland, I'm going to know how to do it like perfectly sound. But right here, I had a sheet of plywood going up against a 2x4 and literally nothing for the next sheet to rest on. You're supposed to always have a lip, so maybe even turn that 2x4 sideways so you have a lip for this thing to evenly rest on. This right here is literally a perfect example of the knuckle I'm talking about. I actually ended up putting a little sheet of like masonite on top to try to like balance out the knuckle that this thing created, because I had the seam not resting on an actual piece of like 2x4. I always kind of had a knuckle on that ramp, which drove me nuts. So that's one thing that when I rebuild this, I'm gonna definitely do better. Hope I didn't ramble on for too long. I know I'm rambling a lot because there's just so much. There's so many things I did wrong with this half pipe that as I'm deconstructing, I'm just literally seeing each thing. I'm like, holy crap! I've learned that I should not have done that, but that's part of the experience. So let's deconstruct some more. I'll check back in when something cool happens.
37 seconds later.
Well, that didn't take long to check back in. There's more ants. All right, another check in right now. Looking pretty good. We got the entire frame completely unplywooded. I guess I should say it's coming apart quite well. We got the entire frame pretty much to the point where this thing right here, if I lift it up, you can see the frame completely comes off into like 3 main pieces. So we're making progress. Check back in with something cool. It's going down. Probably in like 5 minutes once I get the frame apart. I just found a fork. I bet this thing is all the way back from like 8th grade. Probably when I was eating a meal out here, building my half pipe, probably throwing down some like Chipotle or something. All right, jumping in with another quick tip. One thing I messed up on this half pipe was definitely laying the boards sideways. I don't know what I was thinking, but a 2x4 structurally does not go like this. You want to go up and down. That's where all the structure is going to be. So every time I land on the top deck, there'd always be a huge amount of flex in there. Never could understand why back when I was younger, because I was like, man, why does it flex so much? And it just kind of actually has a give to it. I wasn't opposed to it because it kind of like absorbed the landing. It wasn't so like such a hard impact. But as I got a little heavier and, you know, I grow a little taller, send some higher tricks, I'm like, ooh, probably can't do any flyout tricks now because the deck is not structurally sound. Not to mention, I put these things at like on center, probably like close to like 1.5 feet, maybe even 2 foot. Gosh, that's just way too far. That's not good. Not good news at all. I'm just asking basically to go through the top deck. So when I rebuild this thing, I will most definitely put the 2x4s up and down like that, and then I'm also gonna put them a lot closer, probably close to like 8 inches to a foot. I know decks and flat bottoms don't really need to be every 8 inches, but I'm gonna build it. I'm gonna try to do my best to build it right, because when I build things back right, it's gonna be exactly what I do at Raptureland. But I always say but, I don't know what to say. So just catch back in when I got another quick tip or another update on the half pipe. This is the first tip that I'm actually going to give in the video that's actually a good tip, as opposed to a tip that I did that was wrong. If you guys don't have a 4x4, you guys can use 2 2x4s, and you can like slap them together like that to make a structural 4x4. Can't believe that was the first like tip of the video that wasn't like a negative thing that I did wrong. But anyways, on to the next thing.
11 minutes later.
It's been quite a few hours now, and it's getting a little bit darker, so I'm probably going to wrap it up soon for the night. But let me show you the progression so far. We got the entire plywood completely stripped down, got the middle completely deconstructed again over there, taken apart. Overall, not actually too bad. The day went by pretty quick. I got most of the ramp deconstructed, which was the mission. I pretty much told myself, all right, you can get the ramp pretty much 90% unbuilt, you'll be good to go. Mainly is getting the plywood off. That really is a pain in the butt, because you can't find the little screw holes. You're just sitting there like drilling holes in the wood, just like trying to get it out for like ever, which takes forever. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just probably do a couple more deconstructions on the top part, cover up this stuff, because I don't want that stuff to get wet at all, because that's going to be wood that I don't want to warp, bow, or anything until I get the project rolling again and get the half pipe rebuilt. But at this point, it seems like a perfect time to ask you guys again, what do you guys think I should build? I have a couple options, one being resi, that's what I'm leaning towards. That'd be like a resi quarter pipe, so either build like a 6-foot half pipe on this side and then have the resi quarter pipe go in onto the 5-foot section. That would be the resi ramp. That's one option. The other option is completely don't build anything. Probably not gonna do that option because that option's lame and that's a lot of wood just kind of just chilling, doing nothing. But maybe I'll put it to good use if I make Rapture Land and use the wood there. Option 3, basically rebuild it exactly how it just was. So keep it a 4-foot mini ramp next to my 3-foot mini ramp with the extension over there, and then just call it a day. That's the least expensive route, and that would be one that I would do if I'm like, you know, not really trying to spend a lot of money, because realistically, not sure if I want to spend a lot of money. But that and the resi are the two that I'm going for. Really, deconstructing it's not really an option, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and if I pick your guys' answer, well, you guys will be seeing me shred it in future videos. Probably not gonna end the video here because I'm sure I'll come back out tomorrow and, you know, do some more deconstruction just to get it finally fully like deconstructed. All right, guys, I will catch you guys tomorrow when I am back out here and doing some more ramp stuff.
The next morning.
Day number 2 of the great Rapture half pipe rebuild. Right now we're still in the deconstruction phase. I'll give you a little update. Completely removed the floor. I think I showed you guys that last night. I went ahead and worked a little bit later in the darkness and I removed the entire top deck back here. So we literally only have this quarter pipe frame left, and then working our way over here, we've got the frame, and if we work our way up a little bit, took down the entire railing and just have that top deck. Basically, besides that, once you get these two entire things like disassembled, we're done. Like unconstructing everything, or deconstructing everything. Anyways, after that, then we gotta like actually rebuild the entire floor. Now that's one of the hardest things when it comes to building a backyard half pipe. If you don't have a level surface to build on, oh my gosh, it is an absolute nightmare. Like, take from my experience, but just look at this. See how high I had to build up that floor? On each one of those, take like 4 cinder blocks, and then below that, I have like a 2-foot slab of concrete to hold it intact while it's there. It's a nightmare. It's a pain in the butt to build on a slant. And then also on that side over there, I literally dug into the ground like 3 feet just to like match the level. Imagine if I didn't do that, I would have had to go 3 feet up higher. This would have been 3 feet higher off the ground. It would have been like I don't know, from the top, probably like close to like a 10-foot drop. Absolutely crazy. But we're gonna go ahead and keep deconstructing everything, and I'll check back in once we get a little bit rolling today. I still just woke up, so I'm kind of like got the fog brain, but let's get it.
2 hours later.
Update 50? I don't really know what update we're on right now, but I've got the entire half of the half pipe unbuilt. All that's left is just that frame over there. It's kind of crazy to think about because I built this thing back in 8th grade 10 years ago. I could be wrong. Comment down below and let me know if you guys know what age you are in 8th grade. I kind of forget, but anyways, 8 to 10 years ago. Kind of sad to actually take this thing apart. Kind of like, wow, like that was one of the first ramps that like helped me excel to where I am today in riding. But anyways, let's go ahead, get this other part unbuilt and get this process moving. Just got everything completely disassembled. Now becomes the fun part of trying to organize where all the wood should go. This is gonna be the longest process I anticipate because I don't know where I want all the wood to at least have it easily accessible. I don't want to block it in underneath the half pipe because when I build the floor again, if I have to move the floor to get the wood out, it's just not, it's gonna be a mess. So I'm gonna try to organize it the best I can so it's not just a complete mess. Hopefully when I come back, I'll have all this put away nice and tidy. And just like that, the entire backyard half pipe is completely deconstructed now. That was a lot of work to move all that material. May not have seemed like a bunch of work, but just moving all that heavy wood and then just shifting it over there behind that blue tarp, absolutely a lot of weight. But anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this again. While you guys are watching this video, if at any point during the video an idea pops into your head of what I should do to rebuild the half pipe, comment down below and let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys one more time what I am kind of just trying to decide between. I'm thinking about putting a 12-foot wide, 6-foot tall half pipe on this side. Of course, the exact same quarter pipe over there because it would be a half pipe, of course. 12-foot seems to be the best minimum at a 6-foot high ramp. I would like to be a little wider, but given the space back here, I'm not trying to take up any more space than I've already utilized. But anyways, I'm thinking 12-foot wide, 6-foot tall, and then maybe in the future, turning this ramp, cutting that lip back a little bit, and turning this into the resi ramp. I had thought about it for a while, and I was originally thinking, okay, drop in on this quarter pipe over here, come over here, making a 5-foot extension on this side, and basically copy that extension, paste it over there, and then have a resi quarter pipe here. But then I got thinking, man, if you're gonna be riding a resi, you're probably not gonna be having your tricks completely dialed, which means I'm probably gonna be riding off into the fire pit land, which wouldn't be so good. That would probably end up really bad, especially because there's like a nice little drop over on that side. So I thought it through a little bit more, and I'm thinking, well, I'm definitely leaning towards building either a 4-foot, 8-foot, or 12-foot wide. A 4-foot ramp would literally just be a 4-foot mini half pipe added on to this half pipe right here. And then what I would do is I would just basically make it only for the resi ramp. Second option is an 8-foot ramp, just a little bit more room, same idea. Half pipe to the resi ramp. Then the 12-foot ramp is more of like an actual performance ramp, something I would actually train on, something I'd come out here and ride on, because the idea of that would be it's 12-foot wide. I can do a lot of really good tricks on there, and once I take it to the resi over here, I can literally send it on the exact same quarter pipe. Whereas if it was just an 8-foot or a 4-foot quarter pipe, I wouldn't ever really be able to send the tricks to wood. So that's just the ideas I'm kind of playing back and forth in my head. So go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think I should build. Maybe you guys have a completely better or different idea. I want to hear what you guys think would be coolest down below.
24 hours later.
All right, we are on day number 3. I believe yesterday I left you guys off showing you guys I tarped up all the remainder wood. This is completely done with, so I'm not going to talk about that too much today, but I just got done power washing all of the skate light sheets. These things are all nice and clean now.
Flashback.
Right now we're about to power wash some of this skate light. This stuff is awesome because basically you can take the power washer, clean off all the gunk, and then it's like brand new, good as new.
End of flashback.
So I can finally put them back on the top decks where they originally were supposed to be on this half pipe, but I just always used them on the other half pipe just to kind of protect the wood a little bit longer. But now we're gonna tackle chopping up all of this wood, putting it in a wheelbarrow, taking it out to the dump, and then we're done. Like done, done, done. Cleaned up now, so that's all done. Now it's time to put the skate light on top of the surface right here. I've been wanting to do this for a while now because the top decks have been getting really bad and just really weathered over the years, so excited to get some skate light on there, maybe do some fly out tricks, probably not, but I'll be able to do some like other stuff that I haven't been able to really do for a while. So let's get these things on here. I think they're gonna be heavy. They're like 45 pounds a sheet. Before I lock this sheet down, I'm gonna go ahead and add the other one, make sure that one fits on your flush. Both the sheets are like half an inch off from each other, so I'm gonna have to do like a swap-a-roo once I get the other one up here. That fits on here so perfectly from end right here to this end. It's gonna fit on here like so good. This one fits on perfectly as well. Next is that side, but I think for right now I'm gonna go ahead and just screw this side in, make sure it's good to go, and your boy's gonna be able to finally do some flip drops. I haven't done flip drops in a long time because of that nasty little hole right there. If you guys remember that video about maybe 6-7 months ago, I don't even know when that was. Yeah, it's an Instagram line video. Basically I was turning the camera like this and I was getting Instagram lines with my GoPro, and as I was doing one of the lines as warm-up, my front wheel went straight through the wood. Pretty much since that day I haven't done any flip drops because the wood integrity is just absolutely bad. But at least now I got the skate light on here, and with that extra strength added to it, I should be able to get some flip drops going again, and I'm excited because I haven't done that trick in a long time. So let's go get this screwed in. And just like that, we got the 2 top decks done up here. This looks so good. Something about a fresh skate light sheet just like sealing off the ramp really solidifies like the cleanliness of the ramp. I mean, let's see if I can give you guys a farther back view. You guys can kind of see it there. That looks so good, and I know it's gonna ride so much better. It's also gonna have less flex in the upper decks because there's that extra stability where there's, you know, screws driven in every like 12 inches or so. But now it's time to do the other side. Let's get that side, and then this half pipe is gonna be completely skate light sealed. Again, still kind of pondering what I want to do over there, so if at any point during the video you guys can think of something that would be kind of cool that I haven't either mentioned, or maybe that I have mentioned, you just think that, man, you should totally do that option, comment down below. But until then, I'm gonna go ahead and start screwing in those skate light sheets.
1 hour later.
And just like that, we are finally done building, deconstructing, all of the above. I got the top decks all nice and skate lighted up, so that's really nice. I didn't, however, add the other skate light sheet because I didn't want to have to cut the sheet around the tree, just because I'm not 100% sure I'm going to keep these skate light sheets here. But man, I am so pumped right now. I know the top deck on this half pipe is going to feel like 100 million times better, which is going to make the whole entire ramp feel 100 million times better. So now, it's time to get our sesh on. Alright, first drop in without the big old half pipe next to it. It's kind of a weird sight to stand up here without having like something to stand on, just like a full on like 5-6 foot drop. Let's get this session started. That was a tail whip. I did a tail whip and I froze. Definitely a weird sight to have massive like drop on that side. That is a good like, on this side at least 8 foot. Alright, let's get the line now. There we go. Ooh, sketching. Watch your toes. I'm really liking having that skate light on the outside now. This is just such a cleaner look to the entire half pipe. Yeah, I like it, I like it. At some point today, I'm definitely gonna do a flip drop up there. It is just so perfect now. I haven't done one in, I want to say like 6 months. Oh, we're up there, let's go ahead and just do like a bride drop or something. Honestly, it's weird just having the wood up on top there makes the whole half pipe just feel like more complete. I know it's probably just a visual for me, but it's also a nice little feeling. Let's call ourselves a line now. I'm thinking, let's go for a lip slide, straight into a flare whip. I haven't even done a flare yet today, so let's just spice it up and pop that whip in there. Come back, do a backwards feeble. Since this side now has skate light on it, we're gonna do a little bar mani and like hook it around. And then on that little quarter pipe, let's do a nose blunt. Actually, just making a whip nose blunt. We added a whip on the flails, add a whip on the nose blunt. And let's finish it strong on this side with a, Andrew, call my trick. Buttercup. Done deal. Oh, I called bar mani, but we're just gonna do bar tire tap. We gotta go back to that bar manual now that I couldn't get that. I hooked that feeble a little bit farther than I thought I would, but there we go. I always love calling myself a lion. It just kind of gives me a goal to like strive for when we're back here, just because it gets a little old, honestly, not gonna lie, just riding back and forth on a half pipe just over and over again. Sometimes it gets pretty monotonous, so calling myself a lion just over and over again kind of breaks the monotony up, and sometimes gets me to do tricks that I don't normally do. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and try another trick, actually another line, and we'll add a trick in here that I don't normally do. Heck yeah, I got that one super fast. Well, I mean, about 4 tries into it, not too bad. Usually some of those lines take me a lot longer, especially when I do a trick like a flip drop that I haven't done in a long time. So, pretty happy with that. But overall, love the new half pipe. The top deck up there is super nice. I wish I would have done that a long time ago. The whole reason I actually started the whole teardown project of the half pipe over here is because I have actually a bruised heel right now. So my heel actually kind of hurts when I land on it. So I was kind of being really cautious today not to like do anything like that would cause my heel to land on it. I was doing double flares at Beef Creek Skate Park where I just like smacked the quarters so hard with the heel. I did it twice in a row. Not right. Same heel.
Same heel?
Yeah, those were not great, but I'm gonna get that trick consistently dialed. Maybe I'll huck one on the backyard half pipe one of these days. But anyways, let's go and talk about the half pipe over here now. I'm not for sure what I want to do yet. I'm still kind of in question and in limbo of what I actually want to do. I definitely know I want a resi at some point. A resi would be really cool, and especially if Rapshine ever becomes a thing, which I'm working as hard as I can to make it a thing. I could always move the resi from here, take it into the training facility, everybody can ride it then, and then it's just a really fun time. So definitely lean towards that route, but right now I'm trying to figure out if I want to make a 12-foot half pipe right here, 8-foot half pipe, or a 4-foot little like ramp that basically would just kick me onto the main ramp to be a resi. Still like just kind of racking my brain on what I want to do. I'm on my later this week. I'm hopefully going to be picking up some more skate light. Super excited. Hopefully I'll get to acquire some of that. Skate light has been acquired. and then we can make this whole entire section over here completely skate lighted, so I can have it for another like maybe 10 plus years without having to take it apart. The reason I had to take apart the other one is just because I think I already told you guys there was a lot of issues I had with the actual ramp. There were holes. I didn't do a lot of things like properly. There was a lot of flex because I had the span too wide. There's so many issues that rebuilding it is going to be a fun challenge, but at the same time it's going to be great preparation for when Raptureland becomes a thing. I'll be able to actually know what I'm doing, how I'm going to do it before I do it. So it's kind of like a little like prep before doing Raptureland. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today's video. Again, I'm going to say it again like 10 times in today's video. If you guys have not gone down in the comments yet and commented an idea that you guys want to see me build, most likely you guys have an idea that would be far better than mine, or maybe just an idea that I can elaborate on that I could potentially build back here. I am very limited on space, so no box jumps, no spines, no hips. Those things just can't happen. I just don't have enough space back here. It's like literally 30 feet to the finish line. That's not enough time for a box jump line. But now I'm just rambling, so let's wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did like today's video and maybe even learned something from me just deconstructing my half pipe, give me a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. I'm sure I'll film on my way to get the skate light, and I'll film the entire rest of the process as I build out the new ramp. So if you guys want to see that, stick around and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.